Oh, gross, what is that?
Hi everyone, my name is Anthony Escobedo, the Chief Naturalist at Dunes Learning Center, a residential environmental learning center located inside the Indiana Dunes National Park. After finding an old article, we've embarked on an adventure together to track what I believe is our local Bigfoot, whom I call Sandsquatch. This is the search for Sandsquatch. Here's the evidence we've gathered so far. So, using the old article, we were able to talk to Professor Audrew, an expert in cryptozoology, who gave us a map. Using a compass and the map, we were able to find the old field station of his team. There, we met with Mrs. Lupin, a local homeowner who told us that strange noises come from beyond the creek bed. After we investigated along the creek bed, we found what appears to be the tracks of Sandsquatch. After following the creek bed, this happened.
Oh, gross, what is that?
Oh, look, guys. I think we found some scat. Oh, it smells like it too. Let's take some notes on this. Oh. All right, so we found it just past the creek. It's sitting on top of a log. It's like brown color, not like a dark brown, but not a light brown. It's kind of like an in-between brown. Almost like a chocolate colored. And inside it looks like there's pieces of something, like almost looks like pieces of nuts or acorns. Let's get a stick and see if we can look inside it a little bit. Oh, gross. There are pieces of nuts and stuff in there. All right, I'm gonna get a picture of this, but I'm also gonna take a picture in comparison next to my foot. Be careful that I don't step in it so I can make a size comparison. I think we have enough information to make a hypothesis that this must be Sandsquatch's scat. And I have a colleague who really knows their scat. So they're going to give him a call and see if we can gather some more information. Some of the questions that I want to ask them are, one, what is scat? Two, where do we find scat? Three, can animals communicate with scat? Four, what can scat tell us? And five, what animals have peanuts in their scat? And I think by answering these questions, we'll be able to get a better idea if our hypothesis is confirmed. Hello, Haley?
Hey, Anthony, what's up?
Hey, I was exploring around the Indiana Dunes and I came across some scat that I'm not exactly familiar with. I was hoping that maybe you could answer a few questions for me.
Sure, what's up? What kind of questions do you have?
So, my first question is can you tell us exactly what is scat?
So, all animals have to eat to survive, right? Well, when they eat, all the leftovers, the waste, has to come out as droppings, and that's the scat. So, scat is basically the scientific word for poop.
Interesting. And where could you find scat?
Scat can be found anywhere. Pretty much anywhere there are animals. In fact, there are some animals like raccoons that really love to tell us where they've left scat by leaving it in highly visible places like on the tops of logs.
So you mean to tell me that animals can communicate with their scat?
Absolutely they do, Anthony. So There are, other than raccoons, there are coyotes also that like to use scat to mark their territories. They'll put their scat in the middle of trails. I don't know if you've ever seen that out there.
Sure.
But also along the edges of forests to let other coyotes know that this is my place and you should steer clear.
So, as like a scientist who's studying this scat, what kind of information can we learn about the scat?
Scat is really cool. It tells us a lot of information, but I think the most important thing that we always need to remember when we're looking at scat is that we shouldn't touch it. There are animals that can transmit diseases to us from their scat, so we have to be really careful with that. But honestly, when you're studying animals, scat is probably the most important thing that you could find. That scat will tell us all the information about this animal, everything from what it ate to how long it's been in that area. It can even tell us if it's sick or specifically what kind of animal it is. It's really cool.
That sounds really cool. So, what kind of animal would have peanuts or nuts in its scat?
I think the most common type of animal that would have peanuts or nuts would be something called a frugivore. And frugivores are herbivores or omnivores that prefer fruit. And so they don't only eat fruit, they'll also eat seeds, nuts, roots, those kinds of things. I think for you guys, the closest thing in the dunes would probably be the eastern fox squirrel.
Are there any like really big eastern fox squirrels at the Indiana Dunes? Like probably like bigger than me?
I don't think so. That would be a really big eastern fox squirrel.
Yeah, right. Okay, Haley, thank you. Gotta go. Bye.
You're welcome.
Whoa, guys, who would have thought you could have learned so much just from some poo? So we learned that scat is just the droppings of an animal, and sometimes these droppings can carry diseases, so it's important that we don't ever pick up scat. And we also learned that some animals can communicate with their scat. What if Sandsquatch is trying to communicate with us that we're now in its territory? We also learned that if we find nuts and seeds in the scat, it must be a frugivore. And judging on the size of this, I don't think we're looking at a giant fox squirrel. I say we keep exploring around here and see what else we can find. Do you see that in the leaves there?